my sound here. Oh, if it even go. There it goes. I think we're live now. I gotta check my sound here. Hello, hello. Good deal. Um, we're back again. I know we said we were coming back for a fight companion, but schedules has been conflicted, and we will not be doing a fight companion tomorrow. Um, I wasn't really aware of what time the event started or anything like that, so kind of got a little mixed up. But no fight companion tomorrow. But we're here to get our picks in for because we were planning to do it tomorrow. We are here to get our picks in for Saturday's card, which I'm not too sure what they're calling them. I know this one's called UFC on ESPN Plus 33. Plus 33, and then they're calling the other one. I think it's on ESPN, so I think they're calling the other one UFC on ESPN 9. Whatever, we're just going to collide them all together. UFC Jacksonville, because I don't think it's going to be in Jacksonville very much longer. The May 23rd card that was supposed to be the week after this Saturday has been postponed to the 30th, so they're going to be skipping a week and going to the 30th. And I think the reasoning for that is so that they can hopefully get clearance from the Nevada State Athletic Commission and do the event in the UFC Apex, which will save them a lot of money. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter talking about how much money the UFC made on this event, yada yada, which by pay-per-view buys amounted to about 45 million or something like that in pay-per-view buys. So I guess they get endorsements and other things like that, but pay-per-view buys wise, they made about $45,000 or $45 million, sorry, and they only had to pay out fighter payout of about $3 million. So of course, everybody's letting them have it. How are you going to make $45 million? Only give your fighters $3 million, yada yada. But what people don't have to understand, what people don't understand is that they have to pay for the venue. They have to pay all their staff along with their fighters. So let's just say the staff makes the same roundabout or a little bit less. So let's say $6 million total. It's taken out of their 45. Now they're down to 39. Let's just call it $1 or $2 mil for the venue. Let's take it down to 37, 36, somewhere in there. Then let's call it, equipment, everything like that, cameras, just other miscellaneous things. So let's get them down to about $30 million that they made profit off of the fights. Okay. Now, yeah, a lot of people say, "Oh, how are your fighters total making $3 million and you're making 30-something million?" Also, think about some fighters have pay-per-view points in their clause, so they get a percentage of the pay-per-view. So 45 million that they had from jump, split that by a couple percents, just because some fighters could have that in their contracts. Then you also have to think fighters making a little bit more than what the UFC is giving them, because they also have a Reebok deal. They also have incentives through the other companies that they work for, ESPN and shit like that. So not incentives, but like just extra parts of their contracts. So they're making a little bit north of whatever they're getting paid. So let's just say total fighter payout was $3 million. Let's turn that into 23 fighters. Let's turn that at least into about 8 to 10 million that they're getting paid fighter payout. Okay, so now you take that 8 to 10 million fighter payout and you take the fact that the company that's giving them a job is only making what, a little less than 20 million more than them. How the hell else do you guys think the wheel's going to keep spinning on the UFC? That's the only way. They have to keep making money like that so they can keep expanding. That's how the wheels keep turning. Otherwise, it's gonna die, and then it's gonna be like a blast from the past type thing. Nobody's gonna fucking be talking about the UFC anymore. Maybe MMA goes away when the UFC goes away, if it ever. If it ever, probably won't ever happen. Probably stick around like the NFL, NBA, shit like that. But without the UFC, I really don't see MMA being as big as a sport as it is. So I don't see why so many people put their hate into it when they should be putting their, if they really love the sport, they should be putting some love into the UFC. They should be trying to help benefit the UFC, because that's what's keeping their sport popular. You know, we're gonna jump right into picks here. I say jump in 5 minutes in, but Song Yadong versus Marlon Vera. Now we're talking about Saturday. I've already talked about tomorrow's card. We've already previewed that. I know the thumbnail I made may look a little misconstruing because I did make the thumbnail for the Wednesday card, and I didn't make one for the Saturday card, so I just used the one for the Wednesday card. Here nor there. We're here to give the picks for the Saturday card on ESPN. Main card starts off Song Yadong versus Marlon Vera. Song Yadong 15-4, 1-1. His most recent fight was a majority draw with Cody Staneman. He's 4-0-1 in the UFC. Of course, we just talked about that draw in his most recent fight. And he only has notable wins over Alejandro Perez and Vince Morales. He's a beast. He gets in there. He bangs. Cody Staneman's a very, very high level competitor at that weight class. So you got to give him props to go into majority draw with him. Cody Staneman's not at the top of that division, bantamweight division, but he's up there. He's definitely top 10, top 15 caliber guys. I say, he might be ranked whatever, but he's that caliber, top 10, top 15 caliber. So pretty good wins there with him and with a draw with him, and then wins over Alejandro Perez and Vince Morales. You're in good company there if you're Song Yadong. Marlon Vera 15-5-1, 12 out of 15 his wins are via finish. He's currently on a 5-fight winning streak with notable UFC wins over Andre Owell most recently, Brian Kelleher, who's fighting tomorrow, and Brad Pickett. This guy, Marlon Vera, BJJ black belt. Okay, so if this fight hits the ground, we've never really seen Song Yadong, whatever you want to call him, tested on the ground like he probably will be tested if Marlon Vera gets to the ground. That being said, Marlon Vera is very talented with his stand-up. He may just opt to not take it to the ground at all and keep it standing. And if that's the case, I think it's a lot more even of a fight than if Vera was to get it to the ground. But even in that case, I think Marlon Vera has a slight edge. Song Yadong is really, he's that guy that everybody's up and coming. So everybody's gonna be picking Song Yadong. I know Marlon Vera might come out as a slight underdog. I don't know that for a fact, but very may well be that he's underdog. And I think if you're a betting person, it would be smart if he is the underdog, just throw a couple dollars on him, just because that it's just a clash of styles, and they're not. It's not more that one's a veteran than the other. It's that Marlon Vera's been in the UFC longer. One, that's number one. Number two, so he's been fighting the highest level longer. And number two is just he has a wider variety of how to win the fight, of ways to win the fight. It's Marlon Vera. And I think Song Yadong, he has to keep it standing. He's got to be able to use his power. He's got to get in and out without getting clipped by Marlon Vera at all. So I think that's a big plus if you're Vera. So I'm going to give it to Chito. I'm going to give it to Marlon Chito Vera. Going to walk away with either a decision or a unanimous decision or a submission. I say in the second or third round. I don't think it's going to come quick. He's not one of those type of guys. But Marlon Vera, and that's going to be a really good fight. That's a fight that everybody should keep their eyes on. If I end up this week writing a article about fights to watch, that fight, my bad, that fight is going to be top one of the fights to watch because it's going to be a really exciting fight. On paper, you never know how it's going to go, and for real, but on paper, that should be a really, really good fight. Eric Anders, 13-4, going against Krzysztof Jotko, who is 21-4. Been in the UFC a lot longer. Another one of those type of situations. One benefit I think Anders has here is This will be at middleweight. I'm pretty sure this is at middleweight. I'm going to check just to make sure I'm not giving you false information. But if this is at middleweight, you got a guy in Anders who he's really big middleweight, and he's fought at um, light heavyweight already. That's how big of a middleweight he is. And yeah, it's at middleweight. And that could be a lot to his advantage. He's also a good grappler. So if he wants to use the cage and his strength and his build to kind of aid him in bringing Jacko to the ground, I think it's gonna be a really long night for Jacko. Strung out, getting beat up on the ground, decision. Or I could see Anders coming out really explosive, and Jatko kind of trying to deal with it, and it kind of not as quick as Francis Ngannou versus Journey's Rosenstreich. Not as quick as that, but I think it goes similar. I think they kind of feel each other out for a second, and then Anders tries to put it on him, and it may take Anders a little bit longer, maybe like the full first round. But I think it happens for sure. I think it's inevitable that that Eric Anders at some point just kind of rushes him a little bit. Not rushes him, not rushes in to get clipped, because Jacko's a really skilled kickboxer. So it's not necessarily rush in, but it's more he's gonna overwhelm him with his power. I think very early on. I mean the first round, not early in the first round, but in the first round at some point he's going to try to overwhelm him with his power. And I think either that finishes it or that helps him dominate the fight and he wins the decision. Dan Ige versus Edson Barbosa. Very interesting. All three of these picks, I think, have been UFC veterans versus UFC somewhat newcomers. And all three of them are not like, there's no simple way to pick any three of those fights. All three of these fights are going to be up in the air. I don't really have confidence as far as like put big money on anything on any three of these fights, but I do like Vera and Anders in those picks. Ige is 13-2. Both his losses are via decision. Only one of them was in the UFC. That just tells you how new he is to the UFC, and that's against Julio Arce. He's on a 5-fight winning streak right now over Mike Santiago, Jordan Griffin, Danny Henry, Kevin Aguilar, and Mirsad Bektic. So we can easily say that his hardest opponent to date has been Mirsad Bektic, which he just clearly doesn't say that's the case to Edson Barbosa. Just talking about his wins, Edson Barbosa has wins over Beneil Dariush and Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker, who just, these guys that have been towards the top a good bit in that lightweight division there. And then, his top losses, Khabib, Gaethje, Felder, all still at the top of the lightweight division. Gaethje just beat Tony Ferguson last night, so he's probably undoubtedly the guy that's going to fight for the title next. These top guys that Edson's losing to, and he's got really high level finishes. Great. What would you call it? You wouldn't call it judo. Call it taekwondo. He's a black belt, right? Black belt in taekwondo, brown belt in jiu-jitsu under Ricardo Almeida. Amazing taekwondo he has. He's great with leg kicks. He's going to put a lot of leg kicks on Dan Ige, I think, early. And that's one of the things that kind of is a way I've learned, and maybe I'm wrong about this because I haven't, competed in MMA for, I haven't competed at all, but I haven't like trained or anything like that in MMA for very long. It's been a little while now. But I'd say the biggest level of where you see like a level change in skill is leg kicks, and how if you could check leg kicks, if you could let leg kicks bother you till in the later rounds. You see Tony Ferguson was getting lit up by leg kicks against Justin Gaethje, but he's just that high level type of guy. He'll throw him back. He's not going to stop. He's going to check him. He's going to throw him back. He's not going to let his leg get abused. And if you could see Dan, or even if it gets abused, he's going to find a way to fight through it. And that's where you're going to see if Inge is that top level guy, or if he's going to be like a top 15 type guy. You're going to see how he deals with the first of all, just the kicks period of Edson Barbosa, but most especially how he deals with the leg kicks. But I don't think he's ready for that just yet. I think he's going to prove that he is more like a 15 through 10 type of guy right now. So he's not that top of the division, and he's going to get ate up with leg kicks and eventually either get TKO'd late in the second, early third, or he's just going to lose a decision where he just gets beat up top, I think. Chloe Gadelha, Angela Hill, it's another really close one. I think it really just depends on which version of each lady shows up to the fight. Angela Hill right now, what is she on? A 3-fight winning streak right now. She's on a roll. She was 16-0 in kickboxing, 12-7 in MMA. She's never been knocked out. She's only been submitted twice, so submission is obviously her not her strong suit, and that is Clay Gadelha's strong suit. If she can get it to the ground and she can find a way to submit Angela Hill, it could be a very quick night. But Angela Hill, if she can keep it standing, man, and use that kickboxing, she's going to be able to stay away from Chloe Gadelha, and Chloe Gadelha has been known to gas out later in the late second, and then third round, she's known to run out of a little gas, and her opponents take advantage of that and win. They win those later rounds, and then they, you know what I'm saying? They win decisions like that. So, excuse me. So, it kind of just depends on which version shows up and who is able to execute their game plan. Claudia Gadelha, I would think, as a second-degree black belt in jiu-jitsu, is going to be trying to get it to the ground as quickly as possible, especially knowing that is Angela Hill's weakness. So, not to compare him, but everybody says, like, Khabib, like, oh, it doesn't matter if Khabib could take you down, you're going to lose, So let's just say in that scenario, that's how far apart these two ladies are as Khabib and anybody else at lightweight. Not necessarily that either one is as good as the other. I'm just saying that's how big the gap is between skill sets in these two as far as on the ground. But that being said, I think I'm going to go with Claudia Gadelha. I really do. I think I'm going to go Claudia Gadelha submission, second round. Alistair Overeem versus Walt Harris. That's a big one. This is a big fight in the MMA community. Walt Harris this past year, his stepdaughter was kidnapped and murdered, and he is now making his return against Alistair Overeem, which he was supposed to fight last year. They rebooked this fight, I think, twice now. But, this is the fight, obviously, he wanted to come back to, and I have a lot of confidence in him in this fight. He's a power striker. Alistair is out of 5 of his last fights, 3 of them he was knocked out in. So his chin's going. He's proved that if you can land the big strike on him, you're probably going to put him away. So Walt Harris, you don't bring emotions in the cage. I understand that, but he's definitely bringing him into his training sessions. I bet. So he's training like a maniac, and I think he'll be able to get it done standing up. I don't even need to read none of there. It's worth it to note that Alistair Overeem is such a good kickboxer that he competed in kickboxing, beat Kokantaki, Badr Hari's 1-1 with Tyrone Sprong. He beat, so he's a beast kickboxer. So if he comes out like back in the day Overeem, I would not be shocked to see him just light Walt Harris up with leg kicks and body kicks and keep him distance with his boxing and be able to land his shots at bay. I wouldn't be surprised. But, with everything that's went on in Alistair's career recently, and just knowing that he probably won't be able to withstand this career for much longer. This guy's got 45 plus 20 is 65 minus 2 is 60. He's got 63 pro MMA fights, and he was what, 10-4 in boxing. So he's got 14 pro kickboxing fights and fucking 63 pro MMA fights, plus his amateur MMA career. He's getting up there, especially as far as we're talking about fight age. It's only a matter of time, really. Happened with everybody. So I understand Yoel Romero, Alistair Overeem, these guys are like physically gifted, and they're gonna last longer. How long though? Not age wise, just how long MMA wise. We'll see. The rest of the card pans out pretty nice. I don't know if I made it clear enough. I got Walt Harris in that fight. But the rest of the card: Matt Brown, Miguel Beza, Anthony Hernandez versus Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland. See, that's where I said on the last video I was fucking myself up. I said I thought that Alexander Hernandez was fighting Kevin Holland, and I had to look it up and everything. And it was Anthony Hernandez that's fighting Kevin Holland on the 16th, this Saturday. Mike Davis versus Giga Chikaze. That fight was supposed to happen right as this pandemic started. So it's good that they got that fight rebooked. I got Mike Davis in that. Courtney Casey, Mara Romero Barella, Darren Elkins versus Nate Landwehr. We seen him fight live. I think it was in Raleigh. Yeah, I believe it was in Raleigh. And then Rodrigo Nascimento versus Danteo Mays is going to be the starter. So not as stacked as this past Saturday's, because they had to come back with a boom. But still a very good card. This Wednesday they got a very good card. I mean, this first 3 cards, I'm still gonna be upset that they put on. Dude, this is how fucked up they are. They put 3 fights in 1 week so they could skip a week. Why, man? Why? Just take all 3 fights, Saturday, bang, 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 and then just don't skip a week. Why? I mean, why the Wednesday? Now, I like the Wednesday idea. I just don't like how you did it. I don't like you did it and then just to cancel the 23rd card, even though you're going to take a week off after that anyway. So I would have been talking about this in a week anyway. Like, how are you going to come back? How do you come back and take weeks off? Like, you guys come back, you've been off for 2 months. There should be 2 months worth of fights. I think that's how it should be. There should be 2 months worth of fights, at least. So why would we take 1 week off? We shouldn't be able to take a week off for 2 months. Why are we taking a week off immediately? I think this is going to get bad. Unless this COVID stuff gets a little bit better, I think, I don't know what's going on, but I think there might be something going on with the venue. I'm going to try to figure it out. I'm going to try to do a little detective work and see if I can figure out what's going on. But I don't understand why they would cancel an event for the 23rd that was going to be in Jacksonville, because they think it's going to be in Nevada. What if it's not? Then you're just going to cancel the card. They just moved it to the 30th anyway. I guess that's why. They just wanted more time. But still, why not just do one more? I don't understand. They're going to be making 100% profit at the UFC Apex. Ferguson got robbed. I agree. No. No, matter of fact, no, I don't. You're out of your fucking noodle. He was losing 4-1, and then he got TKO'd. Who cares if the ref stopped it? He was down 4 rounds to 1. He was losing the decision anyway. Greg, come on, man. I tell you who got robbed, Donald Cerrone. Gaethje fucking sparks Conor, dude. Tony's gonna spark Conor. Tony's got Conor next. If Conor can go, unless Conor goes Nate or unless Conor goes Nate, he's probably got Tony next. So, good luck with that. Did the same fucking way he did against Ferguson, except just he does it against the fucking karate guy. That's how he sparks Conor. Conor's gonna come out with that karate shit, fucking leg kick the shit out of him until he fucks his leg up. And once his fucking starts switching stances, he's gonna let him have it with the nasty shit. Yeah. Or maybe he goes full on wrestler, just wrestles Conor. Either way, he's got fucking tools out the yin yang to beat Conor. And look at that performance he just put on. You know? Know what I'm saying, Grego? Nah, I put money on that, man. I put money on it that don't happen. I bet money that Gaethje doesn't get knocked out by Conor in 40 seconds. 150% will do that. He's not going to do, like, you know, Conor's just too predictable with it now. It just doesn't happen that many times. He's too predictable. People know the path to beating him or taking it slow. Like, who beat Conor? The guys who took it slow in the beginning and didn't rush things. Yeah, so what, though? Gaethje's... I know he said it in his corner, so it was him critiquing himself, but he was right, because the two times that he got cocky and thought he was winning the fights, which he probably was, he got lazy, and Poirier and Alvarez finished him. So he even said it. He critiqued himself and said it, and he was right. That's exactly what happened. He was up on the cards. He got lazy in both those fights, and Alvarez and Poirier were able to finish him. Okay, I hear you. So he slowed it down. He slowed it. Yeah, exactly. He slowed that shit down. And all his fights after that. Who else he fought? He fought. I think he fought Edson after that, if I'm not mistaken. Justin Gaethje. Whatever. Let's go to Tapology. Yeah, hell yeah. After that, he beat James Vick, Edson Barboza, and Don Cerrone all in a row. Finished all three of them. He just learned how to control his shit. I'll admit, I didn't see it either. I thought Tony was going to smoke him. What do you mean? He was taking damage from fucking Ferguson, and dude didn't even get cut up or nothing. Ferguson was hitting him with some slick shit. He hit him with no elbows, but neither is Conor. Conor's going to punch him. Conor can't put him out, bro. Not in 40 seconds. Maybe in like 5 rounds. Maybe in the 5th round. Not in the 1st round. Definitely not. You crazy as hell, bro. Conor's got... If Conor don't take Nate, Conor's got Ferguson next. I can almost guarantee it. So we'll see. I got Ferguson in that fight if you got Conor. I put a fucking... We could bet something small like a fucking... Matter of fact, let's bet... Alright. You want to bet on the Ferguson versus Conor fight? If they fight, which they're probably gonna, I got a bet for you. Yeah, your noodles out of your fucking dome, bro. He's not gonna. Maybe, but doubt it. You'll take Tony versus Conor. What? Any stipulations or just straight up Tony wins or Conor wins? Or you taking like Conor by like 40-second knockout? Bet. Because that matters a lot. Because I still think Tony gonna win, but he definitely 150%. Yeah, whoever gets the W, what's up? I don't think so, bro. I highly doubt it. Highly doubt it, bro. Crazy. You're absolutely crazy. Who do you think wins, Gaethje or Khabib? That's how I know if you're crazy. Oh man, be doing his homework. Nah, Conor don't beat him for sure. Who'd you pick, Anthony Smith or Glover Teixeira? Tell me that. Yeah, but see, you like what? You like think like every fight is like a fucking Rashad Evans versus Chuck Liddell or something, or like Aldo versus Conor. That's what you think like every fight is. You got Smith, me too. Who you got, Greg, Smith, or Teixeira? I got Smith by like either decision or a fourth or fifth round, or no, either a unanimous decision or a fourth or fifth round submission. You got Glover. Smith sucks noodles. Why is it making me hide Smith sucks noodles? That's funny as hell. But Dover versus Hernandez, I got Dover. I got Dover being able to hands him up and just being stronger than him. I think it's just going to be overall strength stronger than him in the clinch exchanges as well. I've got Dover. What else? Who are those of the fuck up fighting this weekend or tomorrow? Isn't it? I got Anthony Smith, Owen St. Prude, Drew Dover, Ricky Simone, and Marvin Vettori. Greg Hernandez. I'm guessing. Nah, Greg he ain't say. He said something about Smith sucks noodles. Glover took out that young buck who's way better than Smith. Who? What? Young guy that's better than Smith, huh? Glover took out that young buck who's way better than Smith. Who? He's at middleweight though. He beat a middleweight. Smith was a middleweight, but he only beat Kenny by decision. What about if I said his name? Would you know it? Called Iron Q-Tip. Yeah, he's not better than Anthony Smith. Don't be silly. Don't be silly, man. Yeah, that would be silly for you to say that guy's better than Anthony Smith. Anthony Smith would fuck that kid up. Anthony Smith is, dude. All right, here's a list of guys that Anthony Smith beat that could beat up Iron Q-Tip Wilder. However you say his name. All right, he beat Alexander Gustin, would beat the shit out of Q-Tip Wilder. He beat Volkan, would beat up Q-Tip Wilder, knock him out. He beat up Shogun, who would give Q-Tip Wilder a hard fight, and that would be a hard fight to guess. Rashad, okay. Hector Lombard, okay. This was when he was at middleweight. But he beat like 3 or 4 people that would fuck Ball up. That's number one. That's MMA mass shutdown. Then, dude, skill wise, not even close. Especially on the ground or in the clinch or anything like that. Oh yeah, see, can't get with that. Can't get with that. Come on, man. Yeah, that's not. It's realistic to realize like what may have transpired that night. You'd be like 165-pound crackhead. Yeah, but not even though. He was all right. I didn't think I'd have to go into this, but we'll make it this kind of channel. Fuck it. Um, yo, he fucking this man is fought a dude that was on drugs. Man that's on drugs like that or whatever drug they was on. You seen the video of him? Have you seen the video of the kid that's next door that kind of drugs that kid's on? Dude, never stop fighting. The kid left had fucking he's fucked up. That kid is fucked up. Mad dude couldn't walk. His legs was fucked up. Oh, dude, Anthony Smith fucked this guy up bad, bro. For minutes until for like 6-7 minutes straight till the cop showed up. He said it was hard because the kid kept fighting. He wouldn't stop. For no matter how bad he beat him up, he wouldn't stop fighting. That's why it's hard for 7 straight minutes in the middle of your sleep. Come on, man. What you mean? You wake up in the middle of your sleep, 7, 8 straight minutes. You fighting this guy. He won't give up. Not slowing down at all. The kid didn't rock him. He never said that. Nobody's ever said that. That's a rumor if you heard that. Kid never rocked him. He on the interview he said kid never hit him. He said he was hitting him. He like may have hit him a couple times, but he never hit him. You know what I mean? Anthony Smith fucked him up. The way it's explained in the interview, he basically was holding him down for the most part and like elbowing him and punching him and shit while holding him down. And the kid, the reason he kept saying it was hard is because the kid wouldn't let him control him. Like he kept trying to control him to where he didn't have to hit him, and the kid wouldn't let him. The kid had kept him. Don't lie, kid never kicked this motherfucker. You out of your noodle, bro. You out of your noodle. The kid didn't know he was Anthony Smith. If that's what you think, the kid didn't know he was Anthony Smith, bro. He was just fucking. He just ran up in this dude's house and started fighting him, and got his ass beat bad. But yeah, was trying to hold him down. The kid kept getting away. Not getting away, but just kept getting out of position to where he wasn't like as he can swing his arms and shit. But the kid wasn't really. He was on something bad. This kid, Anthony Smith was telling the story, and he said the kid was coherent enough to where when my wife grabbed his legs and I said, "Don't kick my wife," to him. I told him, "Don't kick my wife." And the kid never moved his legs again, but fought me the entire rest of the time with his upper body. Never moved his legs because his wife had his legs, but fought him until the cops came with his upper body. The Giants gets back and we'll count tomorrow. Me too. I got Michael Johnson too. He's gonna outbox that kid though, like really bad. And now everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, look at Michael Johnson," but it's like, come on, he's not. That kid's not. Like Michael Johnson should beat him, I think, in my opinion. He should. It would be a bummer if he didn't, to be honest. Let's see what else. I can't believe he said that about Anthony Smith, man. Andrei Arlovski, Felipe Lins. Who's that? What you got? Dustin. Shaw versus Nate in a parking lot fight. Who do you got? Oh, dude. Nate. Right now, Nate. 100%. Like today. They met in the parking lot, got in a fight. Nate Diaz. He gets knocked out. I think he wins the decision. What about Chase Sherman, Isaac Villanueva? What, dude? See, you ain't been watching, bro. You ain't been watching, man. Since 2013, bro. Let's go back to 2013. Since 2013. So, since 2013, he beat Brendan Schaub, Antonio Silva, Travis Brown, Frank Mir, fucking Junior Albini, and Stefan Struve, and Ben Rothwell. Arlovski hadn't beat nobody. Yeah, me too. I think so too, Dustin. But no, Arlovski is he looked fresh, and I'm gonna tell you exactly what fights he looked fresh in. Junior Albini fight, he tuned Junior Albini the fuck up big time. Did the same thing in the Stefan Struve fight right after that. The Augusto Saki fight, he was very close fight with Augusto Saki, which I thought he won. Ben Rothwell, he won decision with him, and then he got knocked out by Jairzinho Rosenstreich in the first round. But he's back. Fucking decision win. Watch this. Decision win over Felipe Lins. Who? Why is everybody like Felipe Lins? I don't understand that. I mean, I think it was incredible. He beat Alex Nicholson, Jared Roshold, and Josh Copeland. Those were his most recent wins. But then who else does he beat? Ever? Nobody. I wouldn't say. Who's Kelly Edmondson? No. Lost to Nemkov. And I lost to Edmondson too. And knee injury though. But yeah, I don't understand why everybody thinks that guy is such a threat to fucking Andrei Arlovski. That's crazy. Somewhat weak card. I don't understand that. Yeah, that done though that he can't beat a fucking whoever the fuck, some run of the mill fucking MMA guy. I think Arlovski still got a little bit on him. Jesus Christ. Man's only 41. 41 years young, dude. He's only fighting a guy that's fucking 34, not that far behind him. I see what you're saying as far as like if you're talking about the main card went back to, I mean the prelims went back to normal. Like, excuse me, they're back to being prelim fights. Yeah, yeah, it is, buddy. With it's got, you know, like tobacco. Yeah, I'm putting my picks out there in the day tomorrow. But you got them early. I forgot I was supposed to release these already. So I got to release them the day of the morning. It's just crazy. But nah, man. Alright, you guys. That's about it. About to go in. We'll be back next Tuesday, the 23rd card. Yeah, we'll do something next Tuesday. We'll either go over the week or we'll talk about the card on the 30th, maybe. Talk about something. The next Tuesday we'll be back. I don't know what the episode will be back, but I'll figure it out. See you guys next Tuesday. All right, Greg, Dustin, be safe. Let me know what you think of the fights. Greg, make some kind of social media or something, bud. Build it. Build it into your BlackBerry, my guy. All right, and then hit us up. All right, I'll let you guys see you next week.